Welcome to Soup Crafts. I am Soup, and today we're going to make an over-the-top double Z fold card. This will be my entry for episode number 299 of Craft Roulette, which is a live crafting challenge game show that's on YouTube every Friday night. Each week, Mary Gunn and her guests spin a wheel to determine what their project parameters will be. Biddy Penny was the guest for episode 299, and the parameters were double Z fold for project, Rudolph for colors, optimistic for element, and plain circles for random. Submitting a card is super easy and enters you to win a prize. Winning is so fun. If you missed this episode, I'll have a link in the blurb box. We will be using this stamp set from Trinity Stamps called Les Cirque, and these are all of the pieces that we'll be using from this stamp set, as well as the die set. We will also be using this stamp and die set from Trinity Stamps called Once Upon a Mime, and we'll be using the balloon and the umbrella from this set. We will also be using this stamp set called Balancing Acts and the die set, and we'll be using the line, the little doggy, the sentiments "You're amazing" and "Hope your day is over the top." From the slide and spin die set, we'll be using this round piece here. As you can see, that's on there to hold his little juggling balls. And we'll also be using this piece right here. We will also be using 2 sets of snap and slides. Okay, I've got my card base already stamped and ready to go. I've splattered it with Distress Spritz in Peacock Feathers and Crackling Campfire. This is an A2 size card base that I scored at 4 1/4 and at 2 1/8. I stamped this with what was left from my Pepita background stamp after I turned this into my sticky mat for my mini Misty. I stamped that in chipped sapphire and carved pumpkin. I have a piece of brown cardstock that I scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4, and this is 1 1/4 inch tall, and it was 8.5 inches wide. This piece was a bit longer because it shrinks after you run it through this guy, which is the Fisker's, I don't know what it's called, paper crimper, I think. I don't know if they make this anymore. And then I cut this using some decorative scissors. These are not great scissors. I've had them for a really long time. I don't know where they came from, but they're kind of chintzy, but they get the job done. So to put this card together, this Z fold folds like this. This 1.5 inch piece will fold like this. So the long piece is in front and the short piece is in the back, and the same with the red one. That's how the red one will also fold. Long piece in front, short piece in back. I also have a plain white panel cut that's going to go behind here. My idea is to have this little guy, when the card opens, be on his little wire, and that he will have the snap and slides behind him and be able to move along the wire. We'll see if I can get it to work. So the first thing that I want to do is try to figure out where I need to cut my card to make that happen. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to stick it on there the wrong way for right now, just for measuring purposes, because I want this to be just above there. So this little line is going to be right here. He's going to be on top of it. That means that I need my line, this die, to go along here. Now I want him to be behind here when the card is closed. So he can be as far forward as this will allow for this to close, which is right there. So with this ball all the way up to the corner, this 1.5 inch. So that means that this will start about there, and I'm going to set that right there and tape this on, and then I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. Okay, now I want to make sure that I keep this piece because I'm going to glue it onto this white piece that's going to go on the back. Now I'm going to line my little guy back up, because one of the snap and slides will go under his wheel and a second one will go under his head, because otherwise he'll just be all over the place, and I want him to go straight across, at least straight-ish. So that second snap and slide will go about there. Okay, I'm going to run this one through. Okay, I'm first going to take this blank card and line it up on the back where it will ultimately end up. And I'm actually going to tape this. Okay, I'm going to tape it on the top and then glue in the bottom. Did you know that the modern circus began with a discovery in physics back in 1768? Philip Astley, a former cavalry sergeant major, realized that riding in a circle exactly 42 feet in diameter created the perfect amount of centrifugal force, allowing him to maintain his balance while standing upright on the back of a galloping horse. Equestrian shows were gaining popularity in the late 1700s, but in 1782, Charles Dibdin, a rival to Philip Astley, opened an amphitheater in London called the Royal Circus. This was the very first time the word circus was used in a modern context, bridging the gap between ancient Roman history and the entertainment we know today. I decided to spray this with the mica sprays because there was a little bit of schmutz on there for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. It wasn't blue and it wasn't orange. So I just decided to schmutz the rest of it. But I like how sparkly it is now. Okay, and then I'm just going to set that aside. Now I'm going to take my little snap and slides, and I've got some glue dots. And I'm going to try to use these glue dots. I'm not very good with the glue dots. I'm going to try to line that up on there and really press it down. Hey, it worked. And now I'm going to line this one up on his head because that's going to be the easier one. Because this just barely fits behind the wheel. I think you can see it a little bit, but it's not too noticeable because it's white like the outside of the wheel. So I'm going to try to line this one up. I got it a little bit crooked on there. Hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, now to line this one up on the wheel, I'm going to do it from behind like this. Or from the front so I can see. Okay, I think that'll work. I don't think that's too noticeable behind there. Okay, now let's see how this is going to work. These should line right up. I think those are going to be okay. Snap them in there. And then there he goes, riding along. He's got a little bit of wiggle, but that's okay because he's trying to keep his balance. All right, I like it. I think that I'm going to go ahead and put this backing on. I think I'm going to use these wider strips. They're 1/2 inch by 5. In 1793, the circus made its grand debut in the United States. John Bill Ricketts opened a show in Philadelphia that captured the nation's attention, including its first president. George Washington was such a fan that he attended several performances. He even sold a horse to Ricketts, which eventually became a featured performer in the show. Before 1825, seeing the circus required traveling to a city with a permanent wooden or stone amphitheater. Joshua Purdy Brown changed everything when he introduced the canvas tent. This big top made the circus mobile, allowing performers to travel into the heart of the country and reach audiences who had never seen professional entertainment before. Now I got to try to line these up because I don't want the white showing through, so I want this to be lined up just right. What is going to be the best way to do that? Probably by adding glue. I like it so much. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to add some glue to my foam. Lots of real slow-drying glue. A Frenchman named Jules Léotard took the circus to new heights in 1859 at the Cirque Napoleon. He was the first to leap between 2 swinging bars, inventing the flying trapeze. To move freely through the air without getting snagged, he wore a skin-tight one-piece suit. While he called it a maillot, the world eventually renamed the garment the leotard in his honor. 1871 marked the beginning of P.T. Barnum's reign as a circus legend. Along with William Cameron Coup, he launched a massive traveling museum and hippodrome. This was a mobile city that used the growing railroad system to transport elaborate exhibits and exotic animals across the continent, setting the stage for the massive spectacles of the 20th century. Okay, cross your fingers for me. 1881, P.T. Barnum and James Anthony Bailey merged their shows. This partnership brought the world Jumbo, a massive African elephant who became an international celebrity. Jumbo was so famous that his name entered the English language as a standard word for anything of immense size, which we still use today. Okay, I want to say that I got it, but I see some sticking out over here, so yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I don't think there's anything I can do about it now. Nope, it is where it is. This is it. It'll be okay. He still moves across there. What do you do? Okay, I think that I'm going to trim this now since it's off. It's fine if you mess it up. You just got to clean up your messes. There, done, clean. Looks fantastic. Okay, moving on. Now I'm going to apply these, and I want these to line up at the edges. Get back there, little guy. So on this one, I'm going to go on the top and the side. And here, I'm going to go on the bottom. And the other side. And we'll go ahead and put some on the middle there. And then I'm just going to line this up to the best of my ability. And then I'm going to do the same for this side. And for this side, I'm actually just going to put the glue on this piece here, because this entire piece is getting glued down.
If you're enjoying this project or the circus history, please let me know by tapping that thumbs up icon.
Okay, there's my bottom. My bottom Z-fold is on. Now my curtains. Okay, now for this part, I have some little characters that I want hanging down. So I've got this little acrobat and this little acrobat. And I'm going to put this little acrobat behind. I think that will be okay. And then I'm going to put this little acrobat on the top piece, but I want it lined up exactly where this other little acrobat is. So when you first see the card, you don't necessarily know that there's two little acrobats there. So I think this is where she's going to go. And I think that I'm going to start this just by putting a little bit of glue underneath her little strings and her little bar. And then I'll get some glue underneath of her little hands and her body. I think she looks mostly straight. I need a little more underneath of there. But instead of trying to squirt it under, I've got this little scrap piece, and I am just going to put a little glue on the end here and then run that under there so it just gets on the string. Now I'll go ahead and glue this part down. It's difficult to get these exactly straight. It kind of shifts in there for whatever reason. I need some little guides, but there are no little guides. But I don't think they're trying to improve that tool at all. I don't think they make it anymore. Okay, and I'm just going to line this up along the top and the edge. And then she's going to be glued right here, just on this top piece. So I'm going to put some glue on her little strings. Okay, and now I'm going to glue this piece down so it's not in the way. I'm going to use a magnet over here to hold this part down. Sure, go ahead. And then I want to line her up exactly over the top, as exactly as I can. And then I'm going to put a magnet here. Now, she's going to pop up a little bit because she's not glued down, but I think that'll be okay. And I am just going to let that sit for a minute. Okay, I realized that I was gluing that on the wrong part. I don't want it glued on this part. I actually want the glue on the top so that it glues onto this piece. I'm going to line it up again, and because of the shimmer paper, I think that I might pull out my glue press. This has just the Nouveau glue in it that comes with it. And I'm going to maybe add just a couple of dots on here of that. Now I'm going to fold this piece over. Hopefully that will work out. Okay, and now I'm just going to glue it down over here. And once again, I'm going to add in some Nouveau just because of the shimmer paper. And again, I'm going to line that up into the corner and weight it down. Okay, now we're just going to decorate the rest of the card. The hard part is done. Let's make sure he still moves along there. Oh, he runs into this. Oh dear. How am I going to fix that? I want him to go all the way. All right, I got to think about this for a minute. Okay, I decided to just cut a little notch out of there. I don't think it will be too noticeable, really, because you're not probably going to open it up all the way like this. So it's just going to be like this. I don't know. I don't think it's that noticeable. And then he can move along there. And then his wire can go across like that. Yes, that's going to work.
If you're interested in seeing more of my content, Be sure to subscribe so you can always find me in your subscription list.
I think this is probably going to be easier with tweezers. Get a little tweezer action in. Go underneath. And I'm just going to go right up along the edge there. Now he's going to be tucked back there, and her twin's going to be tucked back behind her. I got this little guy. I think he's going to go right in the center there, and he will get glued onto this piece and this piece. So I'm going to put glue on his left side and his bottom, well, his legs. And then I'm just going to line him up there. Okay, let me get all my other little characters out. Okay, and I was thinking that the seal would go here.
In 1884, 5 brothers from Baraboo, Wisconsin started a small circus with just a few wagons. The Ringling Brothers were known for their honesty and business sense, quickly growing their show into a powerhouse. By 1919, they would officially merge with Barnum and Bailey, creating the legendary Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. As the 20th century progressed, the circus faced a new challenge: competition. With the rise of cinema, radio, and television, the greatest show on earth was no longer the only way for people to see the world.
And then his little ball is going to go right here.
To survive, circuses had to become even more spectacular, but the cost of moving massive railroad shows began to outweigh the ticket sales of a shrinking audience.
And then I wanted to say, "You're amazing," right underneath of our little ringmaster.
By the 1970s and 80s, the public's relationship with the circus began to change.
And then the other sentiment, that's going to go right in the middle there. It says, "Hope your day is over the top."
Growing awareness of animal welfare led many to question the ethics of keeping wild animals like elephants and lions in traveling caravans. Protests and changing laws eventually forced many traditional circuses to retire their animal acts or close down entirely, reflecting a major shift in cultural values.
I've got this little mouse, and I thought maybe the mouse could be floating. He's holding onto the balloon and floating up that way.
In 1984, a new kind of magic emerged from Quebec, Cirque du Soleil. This nouveau cirque movement removed animals entirely, focusing instead on high-concept storytelling, live music, and extreme human athleticism. This proved that the spirit of the circus could live on by celebrating the incredible things the human body can do without the ethical controversies of the past. The circus hasn't disappeared, it has evolved. While the classic Ringling Brothers show closed in 2017, it made a historic comeback in 2023 with a completely reimagined animal-free production. Today's circus is a blend of world-class acrobatics, technology, and theater, continuing a 250-year tradition of proving that the impossible is possible.
I like that. And then I was thinking that the dog would be over here with this umbrella, but I don't know if there will be room with her there. Let's see. No, I think that will work. All right, I like it. I'm going to glue the umbrella on first. We've got a little bit in front and a little bit behind, and then we'll glue the dog down, not his nose.
Tell me in the comments, have you ever attended a circus? If you want to make your own circus card, I have an affiliate link to all of the Trinity Stamps products I use in the blurb box. And if you want to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe so you can always find me in your subscription list.
There's a lot going on in this card. So our card says, "You're amazing," and you open it up and it says, "Hope your day is over the top." And then our little guy, he doesn't move, he moves smooth. I don't know. He gets stuck a little bit. I feel like it was a good idea, but I'm not sure if it's executing exactly how I wanted to, but it still works for me. So there's our card. Let's see if I met the Craft Roulette parameters. Our project was a double Z fold, and as you can see, it is a double Z fold. Our colors were Rudolph, and I've got brown and red for Rudolph. It needed to be optimistic, and I feel like these are optimistic. And it needed to have a plain circle. And my little boy juggling his balls, those are plain circles. So there we go. Hope your day is over the top. Thanks for watching. Bye.